What is up, YouTube? I can't believe how much this is being talked about, how much stuff is going on in this world talking about one subject. Black Lives Matter. I agree 100%. Black lives do matter. All lives matter. How can anyone put one life before another? I do not agree with Black Lives Movement. The Black Lives Matter movement is not something that is needed in today's society. For years, blacks have been oppressed. They have been thought as trash. They have been thought as property. There's even been people claiming that blacks were cursed, that they were not children of God, that they were children of the devil. All of this is wrong. Every bit of it is wrong. Yes, there is still a lot of people today who does not look very fondly towards black people. They hate them just because they're black. That is a very stupid reason to hate someone. But this is not going to change. No matter how much you push, no matter how much you fight, the only thing that is going to change someone's hatred towards someone else's is their own decisions, their own thoughts. You cannot force somebody to like you for who you are. This is something that I've had to realize a long time ago in order for me to be happy. I've had people in elementary school hate me because my ears were too big for my head. I've had people hate me because of my weight. I've had people hate me because they assumed I was gay. I'm not gay. I hate the fact that they assume I'm gay. When I ask people why they think I'm gay, they give me a bunch of different reasons. My voice, I agree, my voice ain't developed. It is not a decision I made. I didn't choose for me to have such a high-pitched voice, for me to still sound like a 13-year-old boy. This wasn't a decision I made. I have no control over it. I just have to accept it for what it is. People said the way I walk, the way I talk, if it's the way I walk, please point it out to me. Please show me something that I am doing wrong. I will do my best to fix it. I don't want people to assume I'm something I'm not. I do not have a problem with gays one bit. I couldn't do it though. It's not something for me. But my point is, I had so many people hate me for such stupid reasons. And it aggravated me a lot. I had to come to the conclusion that I gotta stop worrying about what these people think and start focusing more on the few people in my life that actually care about me, that are actually going to help me in life. Back when blacks weren't allowed to sit on certain sides of the bus. Back when blacks weren't allowed to attend certain churches, blacks weren't allowed to be in public school, blacks weren't allowed to do this and do that. Yes, Black Lives Matter was needed. That is something that had to change. That was something that could have been changed through action. Someone hating you, there's nothing you can do to stop someone from hating you. The only thing that can stop them from hating you is themselves, the choices they make. Again, I don't know nothing about that cop that attacked that black man. I don't know if he did it because this man was doing something wrong and was resisting arrest. I don't know if he did it out of pure hatred. If he was, if this black man, I can't remember his name, was resisting arrest, that police officer had every right to restrain him. If this black man had a heart attack while being restrained, that is not on the police officer. That was a health issue that was going on. Yes, being restrained may have caused it, but the fact still is the police officer was doing his job. However, if this police officer was attacking this man basically because he hated who he was because he was black, the police officer was 100% in the wrong. The light will be shed on the subject. Everything will come into the light. It will be known. There will be evidence, there will be proof, and there will be justice. This police officer will be stripped of his badge, will never, because that's basically attempted murder. No, that is murder at that point because the man did die. That is murder at that point. He will be stripped of his badge, never allowed to be a police officer ever again, and depending on the offense of the murder, first degree, second degree, third degree, 3 degree, depending on the offense of the murder, he could be spending anywhere from 15 years to life in prison. That is proper judgment. That is proper justice. If the police officer was in the wrong, it will come to light and justice will be done. I agree 100% that that is wrong. But still, in a world where everybody has the same rights as everyone else, you can marry whoever you want. You can go to whatever school you want. You can speak what is on your mind when you want, how you want. Yes, some things you do, some things you say will have consequences to them. But that ain't stopping you from speaking them or doing them. What I can do, you can do. That is what, for years, people have been fighting for people, um, what people have been dreaming about. Everyone is in a free land where we can practice whatever religion we wish to practice, either it be um, Judaism, Christianity, Muslim, um, crap, what are some other religions? Hinduism, whatever religion we feel, or even atheism. It's not really a religion, it's the opposite of religion. You don't believe in anything. I do not agree with atheism. I would rather Hinduism over atheism. The simple fact that um, that atheism, you believe you live, you die, and that's it. In a world this corrupt, I can't just believe that there's no afterlife at all. If that's the case, I would have killed myself years ago. Um, I the thing keeping me alive is the fact that there's something I'm looking forward to when I die. I know that's pretty screwed up to say, but hey, that's the way the world is. Um, there's so much hatred, so much pain, so much death, so much corruption. If there was no afterlife, nothing for me to look forward to, I just wouldn't want to live at all. Um, so I am Christian. I do believe in God, Jehovah, Yahweh. But even if I wasn't Christian, I would still agree with any other religion over atheism. Um, Again, I have the right to that opinion, just as like just the same as y'all have the right to believe in that. Um, I ain't stopping y'all from believing that. I ain't trying to change y'all's minds. It's just I don't understand it. Um, but exactly my point. I have that right to that opinion. Y'all have y'all's rights to y'all's opinions. Nobody's stopping y'all from believing in what y'all want to believe in. No one. People may not agree with what y'all do, the way y'all live. Who cares? As long as you have the same rights as everyone else, who cares? You don't agree with me, you don't like me, oh well, I do not need you in my life. You are not someone that I want in my life. I'm going to go to these people who care for me, who respect me no matter what my beliefs are, no matter what my sexuality is, no matter what my race is. These people, even though they don't agree with everything I do, every decision I make, they still accept me for me. No, I do not agree with gays. My Bible teaches me that being gay is wrong because it gets rid of the ability to reproduce. And God wants men to reproduce, but I don't have a problem with you. I accept you for who you are. You want to talk, you want to cut up, you want to hang out, I'm all that. It doesn't matter what you are. As long as you don't try to force your beliefs on me, I won't try to force my beliefs on you. I don't agree with it, but I still accept you for you. And that's honestly what the world should be. We don't have to agree with everything everybody does. We don't have to like people either. People should like people. They shouldn't hate people based off of stupid reasons. But ain't no one gonna stop them from hating you other than themselves. Black Lives Matter is not needed in today's society. I do want to give y'all a bit of history on slavery. I do not agree with it. I hate the fact that it ever existed. I hope it never has to be again. But people, yes, slavery is a bad thing. I'm not trying to say it's a good thing. But people make it out to be worse than what it actually was. Yes, in today's society, slavery is an awful thing. It should have been that way years and years ago. It should have been frowned upon, but way back when America was just getting started, we were limited to resources, we are limited to property, we are limited to jobs, and we were limited to money. We couldn't afford to hire people to do certain tasks. So we relied on something that humans been relying on for a millennium, basically. The Egyptians done it, the Jews done it, the Russians done it. All throughout history, everybody's been doing it. So we done it. We went to Africa and purchased from the African government. We didn't steal these people from their homes. We didn't take them at all. We went to their government and purchased them. Their government sold them to us. And we used them to do tasks that we would have not have been able to do otherwise. We put them in the fields so that way we would have food on the table and shelter over our heads. So that way we can go and do other jobs ourselves and not have to worry about this. Yes, again, this is wrong. I'm not condoning it at all. I'm just trying to give y'all a bit of history, and that's it. So the African government sold their people to us so we can use them to get jobs done because we could not afford to hire work. Such and such time passes by, we had contracts with each individual. You're required to work such and such time, in which case, once your time is done, you are free. Yes, there were people who worked their entire lives. They were contracted for their entire lives. If they weren't contracted for their entire lives, they were put under a new contract. This was wrong. They should have been set free after their time was up. For the most part, there were a lot of bad slave owners. They beat their slaves, they worked them to death, they they starved them, only gave them what they need to live, which it wasn't really living. Um, it was just surviving at that point. They were bad. But then there were also slave owners who stuck true to their deal. Within a certain amount of time, 20 years, let's say 20 years was their contract. You work for 20 years. After 20 years, you get your work done, you are free. In the meantime, I will be feeding you, I will be giving you shelter, I will be sure you have clean clothes on your back. I'll give you everything you need, and I will do my best to make you feel as comfortable as you can. This is what we are not taught in school. There were several slave owners who've done it this way. I've actually, I've, I'm lucky I did learn that in school. I had a teacher who was in his he was like 54 years old. He was actually taught properly through someone else, and um, he actually taught me this stuff. I was lucky. This is what we're not taught in school. The slave owners respected their slaves. They treated them like family. They gave them everything they need. Yes, it was rare cases in this time. In this time, everybody's raised on hate. But it was a thing. After such and such time went on and you finished your contract, you were set free. This is also something that we're not taught a lot about anymore. Once a slave was set free, he's finished his contract. The slave, a lot of times, after he was set free, his owner gave him money, food, and clothes. He gave him just enough for him to get by. He paid him after his contract was done. He pretty much paid him a good bit so he can survive, so that he can make it in life, find him a job, and live. A lot of times, slaves, once set free, will go off and buy slaves for themselves. Go like, you will cook my food, you'll cook the food for my family, you'll do this and that, whatever jobs they decide to give their slaves. Um, and in return, I will give you shelter, I will give you food, and I'll do my best to be sure you are comfortable. Nowadays, we are only taught about slavery as I'm going to beat you, I'm going to call you this and such names, I'm going to treat you like trash. Yes, a lot of it was like that. This was wrong. Either way, slavery is wrong. It doesn't matter how you look at it. You respected your slaves. You didn't respect your slaves. You treated them like garbage. You treated them as fairly as you could. Either way, it's wrong. It's something that's not needed. But the fact is, during this time, the world did not know how to live without slavery. We didn't have the resources to be able to do this stuff on our own. We couldn't afford the help. So, this is what we reverted to. This was our final decision on how things would get done. It's something that's been going on way before America was ever made. It's been going on since BC. I'm not condoning slavery. I'm not saying it's right. All I'm saying is, yes, there was a time when BLM movement